Good morning, everyone. It is early, 6:45, but you know what? The Rebels have been up for already an hour and 45 minutes. We're here at stage 4 of the 7th annual Rebelle Rally at the Rebelle Rally Live Show presented by Toyota. As always, I'm Emme Hall. And as always, this is my lovely compatriot, handsome, smart, and hilarious. He's also had a bunch of cold-pressed coffee, so I am trying to match his energy with just a little bit of tea in my Yeti cup here. Matthew Johnson.
Good morning, Emme. You mean no Dr. Pepper this morning?
No Diet Dr. Pepper. I'm going to do that after the show, but need a little bit of warm something here.
I hinted. I was like, oh, maybe I could have one of those and try one of those. And she looked at me like with dagger eyes. Like
no,
she was
you don't take any of my Diet Dr. Peppers. It's not how this works.
Don't touch Emmy's Diet Dr. Peppers. But good morning here from Dove Springs. We've come quite a bit south from where we began the week, and down.
Be a hot one.
Our elevation's quite a bit less. Also,
yeah. We're much closer to sea level. I know. Last night I just slept in my sleeping bag liner. I think it's going to be really, really warm today. So today keys are going to be to hydrate, because if you get dehydrated, then suddenly you're not thinking, and then everything goes to poop.
Yes.
As they say.
It's a common discussion around here. And actually, we have part of the base camp crew. They've shirts. Did you see those shirts they made? They say poo crew.
I love they empty the toilets?
Yeah, well, no. I mean, basically, they do all of the things that takes in, you know.
Yeah, our base camp crew here, they are the hardest working folks in show business. I mean, they're tearing up, they're tearing down, they're taking out the trash, they're cleaning out the toilets, they're putting up the staff members' tents and blowing up air mattresses. I mean, listen.
And maintaining energy and easy to access. Like if we need something, we can. Anyway, Riley, Courtney, and the team, awesome to work with.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get an interview with them, with the poo crew eventually. But, I mean, it shows they've got some humor in the whole deal. So, one of the big technical pieces that makes our whole event possible to judge and have a competition out of are our partnership with Yellow Brick. And then Yellow Brick obviously functions off the Iridium network.
Right.
So it's how all of our partners kind of play together. But I think we have a piece.
Let's see our high tech back end of our low analog Rebelle Rally.
So we're absolutely going behind the scenes today, literally behind the curtain, to find Rachel from YB Tracking.
This is it.
Hi ladies.
They said they would.
How you doing?
Good.
This is Rachel from YB Tracking.
Hi.
Can you talk us through a little bit? First of all, this is a tracker, right?
Yes, this is what is on their vehicles that tracks them so we can see where they are at every time they're going around the route.
So there's one on each vehicle, but there's also one in the vehicle so that the competitors can click on it when they find a checkpoint, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, perfect. Now, while they're out in the field, what exactly are you doing? You're kind of like the cat herder, right? You make sure no one's getting lost?
Yeah, so I keep an eye on the main view that everyone else can see on here. And I also have a look on this page. So this is every single transmission that we receive from the tracking tracker. So if anything is slightly delayed, I just keep an eye on it for a little while. But if it's usually if they're out of signals for slightly.
And go back to the other one. So the main one that you're there, and so this is all the cars out and the staff, everyone that has a tracker.
Yeah, this is just the public ones. This is just all the participants. We do have one for the staff as well.
Okay, perfect. And then if I'm at home, can you show us the app that you're also able to track? We can download this at home and follow our loved ones, right?
Yeah, so it's the YB Races app, and it basically replicates what's on the screen here, and you can see from the start this morning, everyone's sort of moving along.
Off they go. How cool is that? So if you're at home, make sure you download the YB tracking app and you can follow along. We'll see you out on the course today. Awesome.
Do I have to wear this?
Yep, you'll talk on it.
Hi. Welcome back, everybody. We are here again at the 7th Annual Rebelle Rally Live, presented by Toyota. And again, here I have El Jefe of the Rebelle Rally, Emily Miller. And we have some different things that are happening today. And as a former competitor, I am intrigued. So what is different about today's Stage 4 course?
Yeah, today is truly about navigation skills as related to rally and adventure. So they have two really interesting challenges. They have an on-route enduro, but it is actually, at the end of it, it's a beautiful enduro. But at the end of it, they're going to be in Dove Springs, and they have two options, to go the regular route or an X route.
Okay.
They're scored the same.
But then what's the difference? What's the impetus to take the X route?
Well, the X route is harder to drive,
Okay.
easier to navigate, and the regular route is easier to drive, harder to navigate.
Wow.
And
Okay.
but it works really well, though, in Dove Springs, because what I had done is really looked at the scores in the past in Dove Springs, and you realize there are so many trails up there, and when everyone watching gets to see Dove Springs, you're going to be so impressed with how many trails are up there. It's just a labyrinth of trails.
Okay.
And so how do you find, and it's short distances.
Right.
So how do you nail that checkpoint?
So this X checkpoint question mark, will that be on route or an on time enduro?
En route.
On route. Okay, I think we have a Mapbox animation of the on route enduro. So let's see what it's going to look like on Mapbox here. So this is right here at our start finish. That is base camp. Now this on route enduro is right here close to base camp, correct?
Correct.
Yes. Okay. So we're going up here. This looks like a pretty major road. Where are all these challenges going to come in?
Yeah, actually where they've just gone, they're actually crossing the Pacific Crest Trail.
Oh, cool.
So they're now entering the backside of Dove Springs. Right there, they're in Dove Springs. Those are where the options are.
Okay.
Gosh, I love these animations. They help so much.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's a pretty long enduro, but they're going to be climbing.
Okay.
Beautiful Joshua tree forests, up into big peaks. But when they descend down, they're going to be really surprised by the terrain change in this open OHV area.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. That's great. That's great. So, yeah, let's look at the stage map. I noticed that there were about 34 checkpoints. I know that some of those are on the Enduro, and they have a 10-hour day today, about 105 miles. Is that correct? Okay. So, and it's going to be hot. I'm already saying, like, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Otherwise, your mind is going to go crazy. But they're going to leave that green checkpoint at the end of the Enduro, and they're going to cross up in here. And what's happening? What's the point of the day today?
Yeah, what they're doing is they're basically two quadrants of this day. There is the Enduro side, which is where we are in the Dove Springs area, but then they cross the valley. They go into Spangler Open OHV area.
Okay.
And this is a large open OHV area where you can drive really anywhere.
Okay.
It's then on the way back, once they exit Spangler, then they have a series of black diamond checkpoints through an incredible mountain range near Red Rock Canyon and to the finish. So interestingly today, what we've done, the other twist, is the first time we've done this. And it is basically what they got. I feel almost bad for them.
No, you don't. That is 100% not true.
That's true. I don't feel bad for them. But at the Green CP, they have 10 checkpoints. They're highlighted on their CP guide. They have to plot them in the open OHV area, but they can get them in any order. So normally our checkpoints lead everyone on the proper routes.
Right, and you have to get them in order. You can't. Well, you can skip, but then you can't go back.
Correct.
So now, because it's open OHV, they can decide their route and be like, okay, well, we're going to do this way, we're going to zigzag, or we're going to go up this way and then maybe down this way. So they can really decide their own route because open OHV, you can drive anywhere.
Yes, and it's true dead reckoning navigation.
Yeah.
They're going to be getting out of their vehicles a lot, taking a cap heading. They are going to be having to drive straight to their point. And it's a really great skill to have. Dead reckoning is really important.
Yeah.
I've wanted to do this type of challenge for a long time where it's a blank canvas for them. And we haven't been able to do it for a number of reasons. We have designed our format so that we can comply by our permits, keep them on routes, keep them in designated areas, disturbed trails. But in something like this, it becomes like their canvas.
Yeah.
So they can kind of create their day. So I can't wait to watch and see it's interesting for the rookie teams because they have nothing to compare it to.
Right.
This is their first time. It's going to be very interesting to see how the returning competitors and the top ranked competitors handle the day.
Yeah, because we had never. There were times where we would say like, "Oh, we're gonna try to straight line this one. We're gonna try straight line this one," and so far that hasn't really been a good strategy for the Rebelle Rally. But even though they're going to be able to straight line out there in Spangler, there's still. Could be a field of rocks, there could be a giant bush, there could be some kind of a tree or something like that. So they will have to get off of their cap heading at times and then get back on it. And then that can sometimes be the challenge because now your odo is messed up a little bit. You need to make sure you have your back heading so that you get back on your correct heading. So I think today's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good for them in the sense that they really get to take the textbook navigation of plotting, staring at that map, and really bringing it into the three-dimensional, real practical application of navigation.
Well, and there's also a communication aspect to that, right? Because the navigator has chosen a point that's on their heading somewhere in the distance, but then the driver needs to know where that is too. And so Rebecca and I, because Rebecca was as much shorter than I am, I could stand directly behind her and look right over her head. And then we could talk about what we were seeing, and then she would make sure that I knew exactly what point it was that she was looking at. Did we mess that up? And I'm actually looking at, a rock that's 50 meters over. I mean, yeah, that happens sometimes. And then she'd be like, wait, why are you going to the right? I'm going to that rock. No, it's that rock over there,
Right.
So communication really comes in that kind of dead reckoning navigation.
Absolutely. It is a true partnership today.
Yeah.
Often we say the driver is the chauffeur for the navigator, but when it comes to technical driving, and there is a lot of technical driving today, and there's also a lot of really challenging checkpoints out there in Spangler.
Yeah.
So the driver has got to make the call.
Yeah.
The navigator can't just say, hey, you need to go to this point. The driver's going to say, I can't do it. We've got to find another way.
Right. And we're now getting into the area where we've got much more what we call civilian traffic, right? So a lot of these roads are going to be more whooped out. We've had some rain. There might be some washouts in here. So some of these things, they might have a few more challenges than what they've had up in Nevada. I mean, the driving definitely gets harder as we move down the course. And, this is hump day for these ladies, right? This is finally the middle of the Rebelle Rally. They're finally getting into a groove. And then I can tell you on the next day, you're like, oh my gosh, we only have 2 days left. This is crazy. So, they're like getting through this day, and then you can start to kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm really excited to see how these teams do when they come back today to our fabulous base camp 2, decorated amazingly by Steph. It is such a wonderful place to come into. I love this base camp so much.
It feels like you're coming home.
Oh my gosh, totally. I'm going to take a nap in a beanbag later on. Emily, thank you so much for your time. I know you need to run around and just be your grand jefe self. So thank you so much. I believe we've got some giveaways to talk about here, which should be pretty awesome. So if you go to rebellerally.com, there is a banner up there at the top that tells you exactly what you need to do to get into our giveaways. We've got some discount codes for Rebels. Pirelli is running a special on their website for Pirelli Scorpion tires. And you guys, if you haven't tried these tires, I'm telling you, I've run them in the Rebelle Rally last year and the year before on the Rivian R1T. I was very surprised at how well they did. I don't think of Pirelli as an off-road tire, but these tires are the real deal. So be sure to check those out. And, of course, we've also got our crazy ultimate giveaway.
Oh, man, it is a long, long list.
Over $3,000 worth of stuff, including some Pirelli tires, including a really cool Fancy Pants Demo shovel. We've got some stuff from Yeti, some swag from Total Chaos.
Some Max
Tracks, which, man, listen, if you don't have a set of Max Tracks, you need a set of Max Tracks. I never go anywhere
We've almost
them.
got you set up to just go on your own event. I mean, there's 5 Mountain House meals here,
really?
and extraction rope, bubble rope,
Those are good.
Some hats to protect you from the sun.
Yeah.
Here's a piece that I think folks really like is a subscription to Overland Journal.
Oh, Oh,
so
yeah.
that you can show all of your friends when they come to your house what your new hobby is.
Exactly. And Overland Journal is fantastic. They have such great photography in that magazine. And we've got a couple people here on staff that work for Overland Journal. So, we've got these wonderful people that are working here, and they're doing great stuff in the outside world, which is really cool. Looks like we got some social graphics up here, which I love.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you
got
so
you,
much,
Joe.
you guys.
I think Harry is out here on the line somewhere. Let's check in with Harry Situations.
Harry.
Yes, we are. So talking tires, Penny and Shelby, can you tell us about the tires that are on your Bronco? Have you had any issues? Do you recommend them?
We haven't had any issues. No, we're running the BFG KO2s, and I think they're perfect for this type of rally. We're on-road, we're off-road, and I'm able to air down to, 23, 24, and we can just run both in all the rocky terrain, the sand terrain, kind of hard-packed, and even jump on the highway when we need to. So we felt awesome.
Great. We'll have a good time out there today, and we know everyone's rooting for you at home. Now behind them, a unique situation with the Rivians. These women last year were on the event as mechanics, and now they're coming back as competitors. So I'm really interested in hearing their perspective. I have not had a chance to talk to them at the start line. Good morning. Can you tell us a little bit about what it's like going from staff to being a competitor? Which is more fun at this point?
Both are really fun because they're super different. Yeah. Like incredibly different. Because I like wrenching, I like being in the mechanics pit, but this is also an amazing experience.
Which one keeps you up later at night?
Definitely the pit, for sure.
All right, we'll let you get to the start. Good luck out there today. Moving back, we've got April Leone and her sister Chelsea. So April works at Onyx Off-Road. Maybe you saw the video they did on her. I mean, this event has kind of tied her into that company with regards to mapping, and they're crushing it out there this year. So,
hey Harry, how's it going?
Good, how are you this morning?
I'm all right, thank you.
All right. So you are a veteran competitor, and Emily told us this morning that you can get your CPs out of order. Has that changed your game plan for the day?
Well, to be honest, I just barely got all my plots because there were 34 plots this morning. Yeah. So I'm just going to kind of take it one CP at a time today. And I think when I get to that part of the map, like I have them all laid out, where we come in, then that will determine the path we take.
That's great advice. Hopefully you don't mind me sharing it with the rookies.
No, go for it.
All right, have fun. Speaking of rookies, we've got the 392 Wrangler from Dixie. Good morning. Good morning. So these ladies were just saying their plan is to take one CP at a time. Has that been your approach so far?
Yes, definitely. Like we'll get to one and then figure out where we're going from there.
All right, and today a little different. We've got hill climbs, and I know time is an issue. You've got probably the most horsepower here, right? So will this be your chance to put it to use?
We hope so, yeah. We definitely like a little more aggressive driving, so hopefully they'll see more today.
Well, you've got the right vehicle for sure for that. Have fun. Moving back, we've got more veteran competitors here that previously competed in 4x4, now in X-Cross, Lynn and Sedona. So, as veterans of this event, tell me, Emily just sort of threw you a surprise where you can reach your CPs out of order. Has that changed your game plan for the day?
It definitely has. From a navigation standpoint, it's hard to go from like, let's go numerical, let's move down the road, and now we really have to break up the day. It looks like route planning is more of a do this section of it and then do another section of it, but they're not in numerical order, so it kind of throws you for a loop.
All right, but I'm sure you'll totally crush it. You've been doing great, definitely in the contention to win the X-Cross class halfway through the event. How are you feeling?
It's only day 4, right? It's day 4. Day 4. It's only day 4. So we're going to just see how that plays out, and we're just going to keep running our own rally.
And I understand this vehicle is named Stevie, but can you tell us why?
Lynn.
Yeah, Stevie Nicks.
All right. Well, hopefully you don't get any nicks out there today.
Plenty of those.
Have fun. Yeah, we're off the line 1 minute at a time, so it's kind of rapid fire questions today, but we'll go back to Emme and Matthew and we'll interview more competitors soon.
You know, we saw that Rivian R1S come through with the mechanics from last year. First of all, those two mechanics, they know everything about that vehicle. So if something happens out in the field, they're going to be able to fix it. But what I love about that R1S, I mean, first of all, it's fully electric, right? It's got a 135 kilowatt hour battery. Their range is really good. I mean, when we had the R1T, I think we averaged pretty close to 200 miles on the dirt with, you know, slightly aired down tires. You know, is it easier because we've got renewable innovations here to charge? Absolutely. But there are Rivian adventure networks all around. We saw one in Bishop, actually, at the El Pollo Loco. So if you have a Rivian, you can charge at the El Pollo Loco in Bishop.
Before we jump off Rivian, one of my favorite things about them is a lot of people didn't even know the R1S existed.
Yeah.
And it's out here competing. And the same thing with the R1T. A lot of folks had never seen a Rivian, and yet Rivian's out doing stuff like this with their vehicle.
Exactly. I've seen a lot of R1Ts in the wild. I haven't seen an R1S yet, so I know that those are just now starting to get delivered to customers. And, you know, they've got a lot of different partners with Amazon. I know they've been delivering some Amazon delivery vans and stuff. So I'm super excited about Rivian. I think they're one of the automotive startups that I kind of believe in, and I'm not just saying that because I drove for them. Like, I think they're
we're in the automotive industry. It's an interesting time to be in the automotive industry.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of delivery vans, I saw something weird looking out back earlier.
What'd you see?
It looks like a delivery van. I don't know what it's doing
here.
That
bright drop thing.
Yeah, we should go have a look at it.
Yeah. All right, we'll see what that thing is about. Well, I know that we have got some, you know, we talk about the Rebels and all of the tools that they use, and because I'm so fancy pants, I actually did a video about the tools, and so we're trying to show that to people so that people know out there in TV and internet land just exactly the things that you need to be a Rebelle. So let's roll that film. So in addition to having a great vehicle, if you want to be a Rebelle, there are some key tools that you need. Now, first of all, when you get here, you are going to get a map. You are also going to get a CP guide. Those are given to you by the rally, so you don't need to worry about that at all. But what you do need to worry about are what we call our little scales, our little magic rulers. So these are good for a 50,000 map, a 100,000 map, and a 200,000 map, because maps all have different scales, so you need to make sure you're using the right one. Otherwise, you will be in a world of hurt. Ask me how I know. You're also going to need a mechanical pencil. You should bring a lot of these because you will lose them 100% guaranteed. This is called a plotter. This helps us decide what direction we're going in. So you can use this on the map and decide, okay, I'm going to go into a direction of 210 degrees. This will help you make that straight line. And then finally, of course, you will need a compass. There are all different kinds of compasses, but this one is a really nice one from Suunto. My navigator likes to use a little sighting compass, so it's all about personal preference.
Cool, Emme. I like the tools. I wanted to ask, though, I saw this morning some half circle magnifying glasses.
Oh,
it's like it lays down on the page or something?
Yeah, well, you know, because these maps are, especially the 200,000 maps, there's a lot of detail in there that maybe you can't see. So a lot of teams will use a magnifying glass. Rebecca had like a little jeweler's loop, and she had them in like 10x, 30x, 50x, and I looked in there once and I was like, oh my God, there's a whole other map under here.
But obviously the analog competition and the competitors, some of the tools you might wonder if they could have are like binoculars. Can they have any magnifying tool?
You cannot. No. So there's a limit on the zoom of your camera. If teams bring a camera, there's a limit on the zoom of your camera. No binoculars, because then that would give you an advantage to like get up on the top of your vehicle and like look out and find
look for flags.
Flag. Yeah. I mean, you know, we would climb up on the top of our truck all the time to like get the lay of the land. But yeah, binoculars are nope. Sorry, Charlie.
All right, I think we could shoot back out to the start line and check in with Harry, see who he is ready to chat with.
You sure can. We're here with Holly and Kristen. So you brought the biggest vehicle the last time you competed, and now you're here in a Bronco, not a Super Duty. How's this working out there?
I'm having a blast. It's so much fun to drive. It's so comfortable and capable. We're having a lot of fun with it.
And your first time teaming up, but you're crushing it out there. Holly, what is your secret?
Perseverance, calm, rational approach, no panic.
Well, whatever you're doing, it is working. You always do amazing out here, and you two are really crushing it in the standings. We're rooting for you today.
Thank you.
Another team doing super well in the X-Cross class, Mountain Subi. So Carrie and Angie have really been doing great out there. The distinctive exhaust note, we always know when you're coming on course, which is great. Do you have any advice for other teams when, the pressure gets high? How do you handle that situation?
Take a breath, and for us, we're here to have a good time. And so when you kind of think about the bigger picture of like why we're here and what we're doing, it kind of makes the little mistakes not so bad. We've definitely run into a few problems, and we just, troubleshoot and then just keep going.
No one has a perfect rally, right? Everyone is going to run into issues. It's how you deal with them. And you two have been doing amazing. Keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Now, we've got Go Dino, their Ride or Dino. This team teamed up at the last minute. And good morning. Do you have time to talk? I know you're plotting. You got a lot of points to look at today. And how do you handle time management at an event like this?
Just do the best that you can do. Sometimes you need to stop and catch your breath, and sometimes you just keep rolling.
That is great advice. I think that yesterday in particular we had a super long day. I know it was long for the staff, so I can only imagine how long it was for you. Did you get in late, early?
We got in a few minutes late. But...
Well, it's a new day, and it's wide open out there. Good luck, and have fun.
Thank you.
We'll go back to the stage to Emme and Matthew for more of their sage advice.
I love how when Harry says, "What's your strategy for time management?" and sometimes I would be like, "Well, not talking to the media."
Yeah, right. Getting out of here and not wasting any more time with you guys. We know we're cool already. We don't need you to make us cool.
Exactly.
That's definitely the Emme and Becca attitude.
Competitors are so generous with their time because they are on that start line, especially when it's only a minute in between. Like, it can get a little stressful, and they had 34 points to plot today. So there's no way that everybody got everything done.
Now, as soon as they develop maybe a rhythm for their team, in the past couple days, they've kind of gotten some practice at Enduros, obviously a lot of map and compass practice. Tell us about how today, you chatted with Emily earlier, but tell me about how the change of rhythm in the car can cause you to feel like you're back on square zero.
Oh,
right?
So for this Enduro today, first of all, this road book was actually made by Jimmy Lewis, who is our course director, but also he is a Dakar winner. He was the first person as a privateer to podium on the Dakar, which is a big deal, right? Mostly the people who win the Dakar are all factory teams. And now he is training a bunch of the winners like Ricky Brabeck and Mason Klein. So Jimmy has made this road book, which means that there are a lot of Dakar symbols and words in here. So a lot of these things, you look at it and you're like, well, what does this mean? What are we have different road books. What are some of the weird symbols that you've got on yours?
KPS for, I guess, keep straight.
Yeah, I think that's keep straight. But look at the top right there. So there's some kind of bump. RHT. What the hell does QT mean? With an MP? What? So you're going to have a cute military policeman?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah, right on Q to the T times MP.
Yeah, no idea what that means.
Caution, though. It's a big red caution. So.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. That's good. So, and then it looks like there's a negative sign next to a square root sign. This road book is going to be very, very difficult to follow because we have all these FIA symbols that they have to know. Now, they did get a lexicon, but that just means they're going to have to go through and label all of these, which to me just sounds like a total nightmare.
Well, and especially at 75 kilometers, it's going to be difficult. If they're trying to move through there quickly, it's going to be difficult to read all that stuff.
Right. Well, this is an on-route enduro, so they don't have to worry about time. All they have to do is worry about following these directions, and there will be checkpoints along the way, so they can't get lost. They have to follow this. Really, really well, but they do have to. They don't have to worry about their time. But then when they get to right around 30 kilometers, that's when they can choose to go on that X route. So they can decide, okay, we're going to go on something that's easier to drive or something that's easier to navigate, but they're both worth the same points. So that depends. If you got a strong navigator, take the harder to navigate route. If you got a strong driver, take the harder to drive route. So that'll be an interesting thing to see how people decide what choices they make.
While we have this on camera still, will you explain to us how we have the overall and then the interval on the left side?
Yeah,
like what we're looking at there?
So the giant number there is 5.28 kilometers. That's their overall. But then for folks that have a Terra trip, you can see on the bottom corner it says 0.20. That is the amount between, if you move up just a little bit above the 5.28, that is the amount of interval between the checkpoint or the tulip before. So a lot of teams will check their intervals, and they'll know exactly like, okay, so we're at 5.08 in 0.20. That's when we're going to take the next.
And if you find that your calibration is off or whatever, you might try to run this only on intervals.
Exactly. Because if your calibration is off, the further you go, the more difficult it is, and the more your calibration gets off. So this en route enduro is gonna we should try to run it because it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, we should try to run a couple pages of it and see how it turns out for us.
Yeah.
I usually do when Jimmy often gives us a staff challenge each year,
right.
And I often get to do it with Chrissy. So
then you guys win. That's not fair.
We not only win, but we're done in like 3 minutes.
Yeah,
we're like back.
That is 100% not fair. I call cheating.
It's not. And I can't believe how good she is at it. I'm looking at the thing. I'm looking at the roads intersecting. I'm like, I 100% think we go this way. And Chrissy's like, nope, keep driving.
Well, she's a navigator, right?
I mean, world class. So that's why she makes the rules here.
That is why she makes the rules. No, I mean, it's great. Chrissy has navigated for some of the best in the business in rally, including Travis Pastrana. I don't know how you keep that guy under control.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to see him in a couple of weeks. We're doing a Lemons race together.
Oh, are you really?
I'm going to be driving an El Camino with that's going to be funny.
Yeah, so a Lemons race, if you all don't know, is basically where you take a crap box car and you try to make it last throughout an entire race. And they just put everybody out on the field, and you're banging doors, and people dress up in costumes, and it's a lot of fun. It's very silly racing, let's put it that way.
It's silly racing.
Competitors are not quite as serious as they are here on the Rebelle.
No, a lot less serious than here.
Well, let's see if Harry's got some interviews lined up here. I see we've got the cool Defender is coming up. We got a GX 460. So, Harry, what you got for us?
Yeah, we're here at what is arguably my favorite vehicle of the event. I love the like they do at other rally raves, so it's the perfect time to talk to this team. You had some mechanical issues yesterday, is that correct?
We've had mechanical issues every day, but we're taking care of them.
Minor mechanical.
Minor. After day one, Jenna had to rebuild our front left wheel axle, or wheel hub. Just the hub.
Yeah, no big deal. Just the
hub. And then yesterday, we noticed at the beginning of our marathon leg that we had some bushings in our rear shocks that were starting to go. And so last night we changed out all the bushings so that they're no longer so squishy and terrible.
Yeah.
And so we're hoping we get a lot less clunking today.
All right, well, good luck out there and have fun. Keep smiling.
Yeah, we're having a great time.
From old to new with the Toyota Tacoma of Tasha and Kelsey. Good morning. We got short time interval this morning, 1 minute starts, so we're rapid firing questions since we know you don't have a lot of time here. So what is your actually suggestion or advice for time management at this event?
Well, it's really tough when you're trying to get these blacks dialed in. So I think if you have a good system with your teammate where, she's aware of the time and kind of can encourage you to make a decision, because you can sit there for a while second guessing yourself. And yeah, yesterday we got a little bit short on time in the end, but the day before we had amazing time management, and it was really just that system where it was like, hey, are you confident? Great. Just so you know. And we hustled, so.
Well, we'll let you hustle out there again today. I know that time management is key, but you got the right vehicle to cover some ground. Moving back in the line, we talked to these folks in the Jeeps, from Tacoma to Jeeps, Broncos. You can have really just about any vehicle in the Rebelle Rally, which I think is great. I love seeing everything from classic Defenders to Rivians that are brand new. Jeeps, though, are definitely the bread and butter of this event. They swept the podium last year.
Do you have a plan for that? Show us how you follow. Send us a photo, post a photo of how you follow and tag it Rebelle Live.
Yeah, but
yeah.
And tracker on?
Yep.
Yeah. Good morning.
Surprise.
All right, thank you.
Lots of checkpoints to cover today. We know we didn't want to interrupt you. We know you're getting in the zone.
It's going to be a nightmare. She's excited. I'm like, we might just skip the whole OHV area.
No!
Just skip it all. They're all like on top of mountains. Like, I looked at someone and I'm like, are all of your checkpoints on the top of mountains?
I mean, then you can see them, right?
But they're blacks.
So there's nothing to see.
So you can see them, right? You just go to the top of the mountain. I remember there was a video of me last year going to a blue checkpoint on top of a mountain, running on the struggle bus, and I could hear the drone, and I'm like...
That means you're in the right spot.
Correct, yes. If there's photographers, we're like, whoo!
All right, running up that hill. Well, hopefully this year you won't have to. I'm sure your driver will be happy to take you there.
She can drive me up the hill.
No problem. We gotta go, guys.
Have fun. All right, and I apologize for the flow this morning with 1 minute start times. You know, about the time things get interesting, they have to leave. So I know I said that the Defender 90 was my favorite vehicle out here, but close second, you take a regular cab, lightweight, super simple, super reliable Toyota Tacoma. You put a bunch of good suspension components on it from Total Chaos, and it's a recipe for success. Good morning, Renee, Karen. Every time we see you out there, we think this is a Napa truck and that you're going to be delivering parts to people, but then you actually stop at checkpoints.
Yeah, we're actually in this cute little baby goat. That's what we call it.
And it is a goat. I mean, you've been going everywhere. So how long have you had this truck?
We got it about less than 5 years ago. It's got 27,000 miles on it, and it's a 2012. So
What?
We've been keeping it just for this.
Let's talk after the event if you're interested in, parting ways with it.
Things you need to know. We have nothing. We're rolling up windows here. No electronics.
That's good. That's the poverty package. There was nothing they didn't even have to cover up for navigation or anything.
We got no buttons, no modes, nothing.
Nothing to go wrong.
That's the key, right? Reliability, simplicity. So speaking of nothing going wrong, is that how your rally's been going so far?
Absolutely. We have had no mistakes. We've crushed every checkpoint.
We've only gone for, a quarter of the checkpoints, though, but...
That's, details,
Here's
details.
Our goals for the rally. Have fun, stay friends, finish.
It's right there on the dash.
We're crushing our goals.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, and we're halfway through the event now. Yesterday was a rough day, but you have smiles on your face. I think it's only going to get better from here.
From your lips.
It's gonna.
All right, well, have a blast out there. You've got a great truck. I love the suspension. I love the truck. And yeah, it is a mountain goat.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Good luck, and we'll head back to Emme and Matthew.
I think that's the only single cab truck that we've ever had.
I know. Well, imagine trying to fit all the stuff you need to organize with in a single cab.
Yeah, well, now, so all their camping gear and stuff is in the bed, and you're just like, oh, man, that could get dusty real quick.
It's going to be dusty.
Oh, you can imagine opening up your tent, it's just like poof, poof. All kinds of dust everywhere.
I remember reading the bio for those women, and Renee's bio, she was hiking in Nepal with her grandson up to some of the highest peaks.
Yeah, as you do.
Yeah.
As you do.
Yeah,
I get out of breath when I go to Boulder, Colorado. I can't even imagine hiking in Nepal.
17,000 feet in the Himalayas. with your grandson, so it means you're not the youngest person when you're climbing the Himalayas.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Grandson's like running all over the place, and I'd be like,
it's just another example of the caliber of women you find around.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And, we love that you guys are watching us. I love that you guys are giving us comments. So please keep those coming. When they pop up on Facebook, we can get them right here on screen, and we really, really dig that. Of course, you can watch us here at rebellerally.com/live on our Facebook channel, as well as on the Instagram. No, I'm sorry, as well as on the YouTubes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so please keep those hits coming. And I do have a slight correction. I realized that on the Pirelli giveaway, or on the Pirelli discount, you can get that discount from Pirelli. It can be on any Pirelli tire.
It could
not
be on
just the
P0s.
Scorpions. I'm going to get a set of P0s for the Mazda Speed Miata.
There you go.
Yeah,
nice.
It'll be pretty good.
Oh, that one's already turboed.
Yeah, that one is already turboed.
Ah.
So Buddy is going to get the 4,000 turbo. Don't tell my mom I spent that kind of money.
We can probably talk about that while we show some commercials.
Yes.
What time was our reservation?
It's at 7.
Great. Will there be valet?
Welcome back, everyone, to Rebelle Rally Live, presented by Toyota. The sun is coming up. It is going to be a hot one today for sure.
I'll tell you, I love showing our commercials because I like just watching them. We've got really cool commercials.
I know,
this
and I
year.
like the music and everything. And we saw that Total Chaos commercial. And I'm curious about you and your 06 4Runner. I want to know what the first mod is that you made on your truck.
The very first mod actually was some Total Chaos kit.
Oh, was it really? I didn't even plan that.
Their upper control arms allow you to keep the right alignment when you raise it.
Oh,
so
great,
to go with to raise it up a bit and get some off-road tires and such.
Yeah.
Get a little bit more ground clearance, then you need those upper control arms to get the right geometry.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
started there, and now it's lower control arms and rear links, and
Yeah.
along with King suspension and such, it's cool.
And, people, we really associate Total Chaos with Toyota, but you can get a lot of their products on other brands. I know that Emily's Ranger has got some Total Chaos on it.
Mm-hmm.
My truck was actually the mule for their Chevy Colorado stuff, so my car's got the lift and the upper control arms and King shocks on it. And, it really does make a difference. And it's not that expensive, but being able to get that lift and, you're right, get the proper geometry.
Well, and that's how it starts. It's like a person's like, I want to modify my truck. They don't start at Total Chaos. They're like, well, I want to do this with my truck. And then they're like, well, and then they realize like, oh, I need parts from Total Chaos to make that work well.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Well, I know we've got some cool vehicles over here, some with Total Chaos, some without, but let's see what Harry's got for us.
Yeah, we're here at the Startline with our 7-time original Rebels, Dana and Karen. Dana, I have a question for you. I heard a rumor that you have the menu memorized at the Rebelle Rally. Is this true?
Oh, yes, I do. I'm very concerned about what we're eating because we have to be fueled for this event.
Indeed. Do you have a favorite night?
I've got to say that lasagna night was pretty epic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like the lasagna. Personally, taco night is my favorite. Yes. I think Drew always kills it. The quesadillas are nice and crispy. But
That's true.
So you know what we have in store for us tonight then?
Well, I'm sort of waiting for the chicken.
Oh.
It happens. And I thought it was going to be last night, but it wasn't last night. We start talking about dinner at about 3 o'clock. And then that sort of gets us through the next few hours. So, yeah, it's a big topic.
Well, let's hope he has those chickens for us tonight. I'm
Thank
looking
you.
forward to it.
Thank you.
Have fun. You have something to work
Good
towards.
word for chicken.
All right, will do. And from one Land Rover to another, brand new Defender. So we talked to the folks in the Defender 90. This is the new Defender. So much heritage out here in terms of Land Rover. And, we have classic Broncos, we have new Broncos. I think it's amazing to see all these different vehicles competing against each other. Good morning.
Good morning.
So we talked to the folks in the classic Defender, and they said that they have had to fix things every day. Have you had to work on your vehicle at all yet?
I hope not. We have been. The
Not at
car
all.
has been
No,
has
yeah.
been doing really well. Yes.
This car has been 100%. It is a very, very
Very capable car.
Very
We love it.
capable vehicle. So we're happy with the car. Our third teammate is performing.
Excellent. And it's keeping you comfortable out there?
Absolutely.
How long have you had this Defender? They haven't been out that long, right?
Yeah, this is Evelyn's car.
I bought it like a little over a year ago. Yes.
And did you have this event in mind when you bought it, or did you learn about the Rebelle Rally after?
I actually have this in mind because I love off-roading. So I have this. I know this car, how capable it is, and that's why I bought it.
And you're so trusting to your teammate that you'll let her drive it.
Yes. Yes, we're all in.
All right. Well, you're next up. I appreciate your time and have fun out there today.
You're too much further, Harry, because we're cable.
All right. Cars are still leaving the line. We've got a few more left, but we'll go to Emme and Rebecca in here.
And it's Emme and Rebecca again instead of Matthew. Man, I just love that. We do need to get you a cutout.
Yeah,
we really
for sure,
need to get you a
sure.
cutout.
Well, then Becca, she's here in spirit at least.
Oh, no, she is in spirit. And like I said, I hope that we can get her on here when we get down to Glamis. So I want to talk a little bit, though, about the mechanics. We went up to the mechanics last night, and we did see the ladies working on their Defender, and then we saw all those mechanic guys. Some ladies are working on their own car. Some of them, they're working on the car, and they've got a mechanic helping them do some stuff, and it was really cool last night.
Some of the problems more simple than others.
Yeah.
Like the Honda just had a little bit of welding needed on a rear suspension piece, no big deal. But Anna's FJ has had this haunting problem of a running issue.
Yeah.
It sounds like they believe it could have been in the fuel pump replacement, that maybe the proper procedure wasn't followed originally. Some of these things are pretty complex.
Yeah,
like you've got a high pressure pump and a low pressure pump, and if one is out of sync or maybe there's an air bubble somewhere, whatever. Anyway, I think did they change another fuel pump, or that's what they're going to do tonight?
I think that they ended up changing the fuel pump last night. And, what's great is that we've partnered with Milwaukee, so they have got every single tool that they could possibly need. Rebels have their own toolkit to fix anything out in the field, but sometimes you need a specialty tool, and Milwaukee, with our partnership, has got them covered up there in the trailer. So I know we've got some film for that we're going to roll tonight probably, but we just want to give a shout out to our mechanics and Nick Guyver, who can MacGyver anything, anywhere.
I'll say. And he's done the Rubicon and shepherded the Rubicon over like 50 times or 150 times.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
some kind of insane number of times.
Yeah.
Can
you imagine all the trail fixes that they've had to do to get something through the Rubicon if someone messes
for sure.
up?
I'm sure they fixed something with anything you can think of. Shoelaces, socks, underwear, whatever has come to some solution.
Well,
of
we did
fixing
try. We
vehicles.
did have to sew a tire one year when I was here. I was like, "We're gonna sew a tire? What?" And he was like, "Yeah, we do this on the Rubicon all the time." That was crazy.
But speaking of them, it's really imperative to have a mechanics team like that so that the teams don't get sucked in to just working on their vehicle all week.
Right.
Like there is an impound at night. You are incurring some penalties going to the mechanics. You're heavily encouraged.
No, they have 2 hours. They can have
Okay.
2 hours at the mechanics before it's a penalty.
Before it's penalty. Got it. But you're encouraged to not go to the mechanic and not worry about your car every day. You're encouraged to go get organized, take care of yourself so that you can last a week out here in this
Right.
environment.
But at the same time, it is a good idea to, maybe if you've taken a hard hit, to just go up to the mechanics, and you don't need their help. You just get underneath the vehicle yourself, just check for everything, do a little bit of a bolt check, maybe clean out your air filter, and then that way you're ready to go. As they say at Total Chaos, prep your poop. But they don't say poop.
Yeah.
They say something else.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at our schedule for the rest of the day. What do we got going on? I know this afternoon we've got a competition update at 1 o'clock, so hopefully we'll be able to be talking with the fabulous Chrissy Beavis about what's been going on the course throughout the day.
Yeah, for sure. And then this afternoon, I was back in my head. I've got to call my sister. It's my
Oh,
sister's
that's right,
birthday.
your sister's
Happy birthday, Erin, if you're watching. And then tonight at 6 o'clock tonight, we'll be back with you for a Stage 4 wrap-up as vehicles are still coming in after a challenging day on some open OHV. I hope to run out there and get a bit of video of the cars on the open OHV area.
Cool.
Yeah, that's Spangler Flats. I think.
Yes. So, yesterday we might have messed up just a tiny little bit and showed you a weird little silent film and didn't really give you much of an update or an
we did show
explanation.
my update. I was out there working, and you guys were doing some spaghetti western.
We had to make a good movie. So, while we were in Alabama Hills yesterday, that place is just it's got so much movie history, and so Katie and I decided to film our own little thing, and it stars our Yeti cooler right here. So, so let's run this dorky little clip that we enjoy so much. I love that fact.
Yeah.
We just heard in our ear our director. We're definitely not losing our minds out here in the desert.
Totally.
All right,
and speaking of Yeti, everyone at the event got Yeti tumblers and
Yes.
mugs and such. All competitors, all of our staff. So we're all well taken care of and
Absolutely.
hydrated.
Absolutely. Keeps your hot stuff hot, your cold stuff cold. It's
Yes,
like
there
the
we go.
what was that? McDouble? Doesn't matter. That's a
remember.
bad reference because I'm old. So.
Cindy, we see out of the window, she's here from Dubai supporting. She's a co-driver and navigator in the Dakar.
Yes, she
in
is.
one of the massive trucks.
Those
you see in the
big
Dakar.
trucks where
Yeah.
you look at them and you're like, that's not going to go over that dune. And then it goes over the dune.
Yeah.
You're like, that is just nutso. Absolutely nutso. All right. Well, listen, Matthew, I feel like it's been a good show.
It has. Thanks, Emmy. It's
Yeah.
always a pleasure.
Yeah. So, again, we will see you guys this afternoon at 1 o'clock. You can see us at rebellerally.com/live, Rebelle Rally on Facebook, and also on the YouTubes. Again, for the live show presented by Toyota, thanks so much for joining in, and we will talk to you later.